Why don't you? All right, Sam is about to give us some breaking news here on the show. You can check us out, ArtemisNewsChannel.com. Sam Anthony Diaz, he posts on Trump Talk equals Straight Talk on Facebook. Sam's a U.S. Navy vet. Go ahead, Sam. What do you got?
Okay, we found there were some receipts that showed that an employee named Antonio served two guests. And they have this, on the receipts, it shows a code called IRD_MB, which means in-room dining, Mandalay Bay. Okay? Also in the receipt, it shows the table number is 32135. 32 stands for the 32nd floor. 135 is the room on the 32nd floor. So panic order a burger, a bagel with cream cheese, a potato soup, one bottle of water, and two Pepsis, suggesting that there was another person eating with them in the room. The receipt shows the number 2 next to the word yes. So this was not a one-man show. He had help. He had assistance.
Wow.
This is getting better. The date on the receipt also says September 27th, whereas authorities assert that Paddock checked in the day after on the September 28th. Paddock's guest could not have been his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, because she was in the Philippines at the time. But wait a minute. Did the police say that she was in Tokyo?
That's right. That's what they said, that she was in Tokyo and that she was not in town. That's really breaking information, Sam. Thanks a lot.
But wait a minute. This is the kicker. The individual who posted the receipt appears to have deleted it from his Facebook page, although the page still shows that he works at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Another source told Laura Loomer, she is the info warrior, that she was a former Project Veritas.
Yeah.
Said that the gunman actually checked in on September 25th, 3 days before authorities said he did. Okay? And authorities must surely now be on the hunt for whoever Paddock dined with in order to ascertain whether the individual was involved in the plot and whether or not it was the same woman who reportedly told concertgoers they were going to die 45 minutes before the shooting took place.
Well, that's been...
I smell a collaboration staged attack.
Well, what we have here is we have reports that are, they're online. You can see the reports. One girl at the concert, she was told by a Spanish woman who came up to her while the concert was going on saying, "You're all going to die tonight." Another one said, "Hey, you better get out of here because you're all going to die tonight." So that's already out there on the net. You can see a video. They interviewed one of the girls who was at the concert saying that she witnessed the Spanish lady coming up to her and saying that. So that's also out there. That's a credible report that hasn't been really...
But also, Matt, let me tell you this. Were these people off-duty staffers from the Mandalay Bay that went there and warned these concert goers to leave?
Now, well, that's the kind of news warrior that Sam is. Sam is saying, and putting this together, that the people in the Mandalay Bay, the service workers who knew this guy, by the way, and that's been published, that they knew this guy, he frequented that, and, he would tip people and so on and so forth, so they knew this guy. Sam is putting together that they knew that he was going to do this, and that the staff from the Mandalay Bay were warning these people that, hey, this guy brought in a lot of stuff and he's doing whatsoever. And to be able, Sam had talked about this earlier, to be able to set up video cameras without the Mandalay Bay security people knowing about it, and then the Mandalay Bay people not even being diligent in their duty to say, hey, wait a minute, somebody's installing something on the door of one of our doors. We better go and check that. So there's a lot of things. We need security footage that still hasn't come out. But I believe what Sam says is a good deductive thinking here. The workers at the Mandalay Bay knew what was going on, and maybe they filtered into the crowd and said, hey, look, you're all going to die tonight, because this guy had hundreds of pounds of ammunition. And, without Sam reporting this stuff, and you can check out our page on Trump Talk equals Straight Talk on Facebook, Artemis News Channel on Facebook. We have a lot of posts on there that corroborate what we're saying, and we also have it at artemisnewschannel.com. You can see the information that's out there. There's one video that I posted and Sam posted of a cab driver. Corey Longdon, I think her name is, and it's just an unbelievable video. And you hear what appears to be a weapon, automatic weapon fire, two different kinds, two different sounds, one close, one far away. And, so it's really, there's a lot of information that's coming out. And as I said at the top of the program, Sam, President Trump is in Las Vegas, and he just got through giving a speech to the first responders out there, commending them for the job that they did. But there's a lot out there, and Sam is pointing out this receipt. You can also see that. Sam posted that on Trump Talk equals Straight Talk, because, you have to have help putting all this stuff together. You could not do this. And then me and Sam had talked earlier, because Sam's a U.S. Navy vet. This 64-year-old man is running from one window to the next window, sprinting back and forth and shooting. On that cab driver video that we posted on Trump Talk equals Straight Talk and Artemis News Channel on Facebook, you can hear two different gun sounds there, and one's really far away and one's close. I don't know if you got to take a look at that, Sam.
Oh yeah, I looked at it in its entirety. I'm telling you, this was not a one-man show attack. This was done by multiple shooters in that same hotel. And then what you mentioned to me was the authorities was chasing a security guard.
Right. There's another report that, and if you listen to the police scanners, that scanners you can get, it's on the internet, what's going on. There was chaos was ensuing. And they always say, the first reports of these things are usually not true and so on and so forth. But there's a report. A woman was sitting at the casino in the Luxor, just playing, playing slots, and a security guard runs by at full speed, a guy in a security guard uniform. And then either cops or more security guards are chasing after him. So now we did have a report that a security guard was shot in the leg. Now he was the guy who apparently approached the door first of this killer on the 32nd floor, and he was shot in the leg. The guy shot him through the door, apparently. But this other story about a woman in a casino in Luxor having a security guard run full speed by her, and then seeing other police security chasing him, because there were reports out there that there were people that were running through the Luxor, they were running through MGM. There was a lot of chaos out there. Go ahead, Sam.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I have another breaking story that Laura Loomer posted. It's about his brother. His brother was interviewed by reporters, and it seems to me that he was correcting himself so many times. But here's the kicker. While he was saying, he was about to say that his brother was an arms dealer, but then he stopped. And instead of saying, I didn't mean to say that. I was going to say a colloquialism about the military and so forth. No. They found out that he was wearing an earpiece. Somebody was instructing him on the other end to say what he has to say about his brother.
Oh.
He said, no, and so forth. But then he was about to say that he is an arms dealer.
Well, there we go. It's more coming out. When the brothers first started talking in Florida, nobody believed him. He wouldn't look at the people in the eye. He was closing his eyes and moving side to side. Any body language aficionado expert will tell you that this guy was lying. And now Sam's got more information, more breaking news here, that the guy is about to say he was an arms dealer. The press is reporting that he collected weapons for 20 years. But in order to modify some of the weapons, he used a bump stock, so on and so forth. There were two different calibers that were used. We don't know a lot about the weapons that this guy had. If you look at some of the crime scene photos, which now have leaked onto the internet, there are a few weapons there with tripods and extra long clips, and there's nothing but shells in the hotel room. But you see a whole bunch of weapons there. You see also neatly stacked in the corner are clips full of ammunition. And when you couple this up with the guy who was an accountant that the press is saying, a mild-mannered accountant who didn't do anything, and of course, we have reports that broke early the first day that he was converted recently to Islam. We have ISIS doubling down today, as Sam reported earlier to me, that they claim responsibility, double down for it again. To build firing positions inside of a hotel. This is a classic terrorist setup. That's what a terrorist would do. And to make sure that there's going to be 22,000 people down there in this festival, that had to be highly coordinated. And in order for everything to go right in the Mandalay Bay, that's why Sam's really onto something. Why don't we have some investigative journalism interview the maids at Mandalay Bay, the service workers, the food workers, the room service people? Why don't we have an in-depth interview, TMZ interview on these guys? Because I think what Sam is saying is absolutely right. These people were aware of him. They knew him. They knew him for years at the Mandalay Bay. And they must have known that you can't sneak 10 bags of ammunition, suitcases, hundreds of pounds of ammunition and tripods and you can't sneak that in without, the service workers knowing. And for it all to be...
Also, didn't mean to interject,
yeah.
but also Mandalay Bay, there's a lot of Middle Easterns that they stay in the Mandalay Bay as well. So I'm telling you, this is a collaborative effort from Mandalay Bay, the terrorists, and I hate to, and no, I'm not going to say I'm going to hate to say this. I smell deep state operation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's so tough what's going on. We hear about the FBI ruling out terrorism in the first 12 hours of this incident, but yet they can't tell in 8 months about Russia and collusion and so forth. So we really have to kind of watch out what's going on here and what's being reported. When you see the mainstream news reporting the same exact thing, everyone's reporting the same thing. They're not showing that video of the cab driver and those two distinct sounds that came from, it seems like to me, two distinct weapons. And at one point in the...
They're not reporting about those receipts that they show that he was not alone. This was a two-person order. So and then he reserved two separate rooms adjacent to each other, so that one shooter can shoot on one end and he can shoot at the other. So like I said, it doesn't make sense for him. A 64-year-old man can sprint from one corner, from one room to another, and start shooting. All these shootings happen simultaneously, one fast and one slow, like in the cab driver's video. So what does that tell you? This was a multiple shooter attack.
It sure sounds that way in the video, to break out the two windows, to go from one to the other. The receipt that Sam is citing is key. You can check it out on Trump Talk Equals Straight Talk. Sam posted it on Facebook. You can see the receipt. And again, the girlfriend was supposed to be out of town. So who went there, and why aren't they interviewing room service personnel? Sam read off, they had two different meals were ordered there and two different beverages. So you see what's going on. The press is the fake news is kind of ignoring this. But look, after what they did to President Trump on Puerto Rico, it just does. It makes sense to me that that's what they're doing. But they really can't hold it down much longer. President Trump said today, before he got on Air Force One, that we'd be hearing a lot more about this in 48 hours. The sheriff who's down there on the ground, the Las Vegas sheriff who's in control, who really is a regular good guy, said that there were two different calibers of a weapon used, and that they're looking into if the guy was radicalized or not. There are reports that there are Antifa pamphlets and ISIS pamphlets found in the room. They're interrogating the girlfriend today. Hopefully, they're interrogating her. She landed at LAX earlier. But just on the receipts alone that Sam is citing in the breaking news, these receipts show.
No, and also the revelation that his twin brother was about to say that he was an arms dealer, and then all of a sudden he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I was about to say a colloquialism about the military." No, he was supposed to say arms. He was going to say that he's an arms dealer. He was not an arms collector. So there you go. There is your smoking gun. He collects arms. Why is he spending tens of thousands of dollars, even one transaction of $100,000 to ISIS-ravaged Philippines?
Well, that's
Tell me
right.
that.
That's right. He's sending $100,000 to, in the Abu Sayyaf wing of Muslim extremists in Philippines, and also they have been in touch with ISIS. So, for ISIS to claim